annoying for a Naga with all the armor on hand, along with the Doom on hand as well. So that should be your off-lane pickup, which does, again, fairly decently against a Naga, depending, I suppose, on how you really try to work that lane. I don't mind this too much. I think the single target control is great. It's really durable from Tundra, which works both ways, right? Like, you've got 5 HP heroes that really benefit from the Sunray. At the same time, if you are somehow all caught in the Ice Blast, that kind of goes out the window. So both sides kind of have a way of playing into each other here.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. It isn't really going to be a matter of how the hell do you kill these heroes on the side of Tundra. We'll see what Nouns do pick up for their 4th pick here. 2 calls left to go. Of course, they do need an offlane and a mid pick for Gunnar. Do they have the Primal Beast? No, they don't. They don't have the Spirit Breaker either. So what do you really want to see for Moo in the offlane? Because the games we've casted from Nouns, Moo's really popped off practically every single time they've won.
I was going to say Witch Doctor.
There it is.
It's pure damage.
You did call this.
Maledict.
You did call this the other day. You said you wanted to see it. I said you're crazy. Here it is, Jonathan. Well done.
It's still strong. Even post-nerf, this hero still does a lot. And I was like, when the nerf first came out, because I played this damn thing so much pre-nerf on the new patch, and we saw Moo play this even before, we hit that new patch as well on Tour 3. It does a lot of work. It's a great solution to kind of eat through the Sven. You've got decent healing to play with. Your lane would say Clockwork 4 is pretty damn good. I think Nouns does have a lot of aggression that can come out there. And it's just more DOT that kind of stacks on really nicely with the Ice Blast. Yeah. So if you get a good Maledict, you get your Ags timing here, you get your Shard, it can wreck face. And Moo is that kind of player who does like to wreck face. Mind you, depending on the state of the game, we have seen Moo eat a ton of space to get to that point. But the Witch Doctor does play pretty up-tempo. So I can see him playing a little bit more active in comparison to before. He is going to be maybe going around as a trio with him and Lelis and Yamson just looking for these plays. Clockwork, the Witch Doctor doesn't need too much. Mind you, his downtime is a lot longer. That cooldown on level 1 Death Ward is pretty slow. So that does give a little bit more breathing room for Tundra to lay off from these ganks. And that could be something that just allows them to kind of maintain tempo a lot better than, say, pre-nerf Witch Doctor, which would have been obnoxious.
It's also a very long, very strong laning duo, right? With the Clockwork, like Battery Assault plus Cogs plus Maledict, and someone's almost guaranteed to die in the safe lane of Tundra if they're not too careful. Mind you, you do have a +5 Phoenix, but Icarus Life can be a little bit funny against Battery Assault. So we'll see if they can pull off the lane shenanigans here from Nouns' end on the off lane. Obviously, I'm very happy to see the off lane Witch Doctor, but whether it's actually going to work out or not, we saw it a lot in NADPC, but this is TI, a road to TI rather, so you can't say it's good yet. We've got to see this NA tech work against Tundra.
5 seconds left.
I'm more curious about how Moo levels up. I think you mentioned this last time we were talking about Witch Doctor. He did go for like a 1-3-1 build, maxing out the heal and trying to harass out and win trades that way. I think it definitely defaults more into Maledict nowadays. Just because you're playing off your ult, even post-nerf, that's where the hero still really shines. So I'm keen to see what adjustments Moo will make here. We are still seeing
10 seconds.
Pretty much mid-bans, Dazzle and Necrophos. Wondering what the pickup will be for Gunnar. Does still have a couple of options. There's, I suppose, a Shaker mid that can come out. He has his TA, but not completely sure about the matchup versus the Earth Spirit. Sounds decent, but it can be a little bit slower, especially when you're sharing the map with Hector, who tends to eat a lot of space out. They ban out the Monkey King along with the Zeus. Nouns are going to have to show their hand first. They go to Shaker. It was left in the pool. Pick it up. Matchup against Earth Spirit's not too bad. Gunnar's smiling. See, that's the one thing. When we see these drafts and Gunnar gets a hero and he smiles, it usually means good things for Nouns.
Yeah, but then again, John, when Topson just has a straight face, that means usually pretty damn good things for Tundra. So it's kind of hard to know. Topson doesn't need to change his face to indicate he's going to have a good game, John. We'll see what Tundra want to pick up for their final pick here. Still requiring, well, I say still requiring, they have a mid-Earth Spirit, of course, but it could still be flexed here for 9 if they so wish. We shall see what Tundra do exactly. I don't necessarily think you want to run Earth Spirit mid against Earth Shaker. Any melee against Earth Shaker mid is not very fun.
What's left in the pool? You could be extra annoying. You could try Clinks, but there are some decent targets to snipe from back. You can hunt in the jungle. They go to Weaver instead. which is very different. I don't think I was expecting that coming out at all. Rather interesting way of going about it. That is the 9 support Weaver. Okay. So you do have a way of saving. You've got some decent minus armor. It's a little bit harder to pin down the Weaver. Again, going back to that point with these supports, you don't have the hardest lockdown. Basically, you're kind of waiting on either Gunner to get ready, get a good fissure and his combination off, or Hector getting a value point and end snare early, which you, again, don't really see on the Naga Sirens. So 9 should have a really good time trading. I think the side of Tundra does have a lot of early play. If Topson can kick things into gear, he can connect to these other lanes. He can play pretty aggressively. He is most of the control in these rotations, right? Like your support duo of Tundra as well also severely lacks control, but Earth Spirit has that in spades. So this should be an interesting one to watch. I think both sides have some pretty good tempo. They've got cores that, safe lane cores that do want to build up a little bit more. Off lane cores that can build up. I think the Doom will definitely lean into farming a little bit more than I'd expect the Witch Doctor to, but you know, watching Moo these past few days, he has been eating up a lot of farm. So I'm, again, keen on seeing what kind of tempo Nouns will want to bring out and how much Tundra can do with the Tops and Earth Spirit. Not that I'm doubting it, I'm just very curious as to how well the tempo will come out when you're trying to connect with a Doom or a Sven in their lanes.
I'm sure Topson's still going to have a great game on Earth Spirit. I've watched this man play this hero so many damn times, and I'd say he is one of the better mid-Earth Spirits we get to see, so we'll have to wait and see. Game 1 is about to get underway. John, I'll ask you the difficult question. Did you have a preference in draft? Just forget about the teams. Tell me which draft's better in your opinion.
I would honestly lean towards Nouns, but that's probably me just liking Witch Doctor Ags in this game.
Yeah. No,
legitimately, Witch Doctor Ags can wreck face here, especially if you manage to get a good Maledict. It just feels really nice. You don't have the best stuns outside of like Earth Spirit, but once you have a BKB on Witch Doctor, I don't think that's a major issue. So it's really down to Moo, how his timing goes with BKB Ags plus Shard. If the Witch Doctor goes pretty, I think that tempo can be really scary because you don't have anything to pierce through debuff immunity here to stop that ultimate. If it goes off, you are going to have a pretty rough time of it unless you really want to expend like 33's Doom on a Witch Doctor in the back.
Well, game 1 is officially underway, so we'll get into it here. See, both teams already smoked up, rushing towards the mid lane to get some warding down. See, 9 on this Weaver. Like, obviously, the Weaver has made a reappearance as far as this meta goes, and this feel very nice in this game as well. Like, it's a very slippery hero, very hard to catch in a game like this. See, the minus armor going to play very, very well with the Sven, and as well as that, just laning stage, like against the position 5 AA, the Weaver just doesn't care. It's a very easy support Weaver game by the looks of it here for 9, and I'm sure he's going to have a very good time himself. Right now, Nouns look like they're just going to sit by the tier 1 mid tower and just relax, not get too deep right now against Tundra, just never knowing where they are. They might fight for this bottom bounty. K1's going to show on the river. Lelis, he's moving. He's got to be very careful here. Skitter's waiting on the high ground. Topson will get some vision down. The Naga illusions will come in and scout out. And it seems like now they will eventually just retreat up to the top side, though Lelis is still hanging around just a little bit, but shouldn't be dying off.
Is it everything you remember?
But Nouns get away with 3.
A nice little bonus coming out for Nouns. Every little bit can help. It does feel like you don't really want to fight into the big clump up level 1 for Tundra. I think Nouns running into a Witch Doctor, I suppose, is always just a little bit annoying, and a Shaker. Although Gunner will always have Enchant, so you're not having to worry about Fissure, but it can still be annoying if that opportunity presents itself for the mid. It's not the most painful thing to invest in Fissure for first blood. Still, looking at the lanes breakout here, Mike, we do have Moo again on that offlane Witch Doctor along with Lelis with a Clockwork, up against Skitter and Snaking on that Sven and Phoenix. And this lane, there is a lot of trading back and forth. I think this lane really kicks into gear for Nouns by level 2, level 3. When you've got the Cask Maledict, you can start to play a little bit more aggressive. It's a little bit harder for Lelis to try to gap close and be annoying early on. I mean, you are susceptible to a lot, especially that Fire Spirits coming out from Snaking. It does make it very hard to trade for any hero. Skitter should be relatively free to farm until the levels start to scale up. Even then, I don't see the Sven being completely shoved out unless he's severely out of position, which you shouldn't really expect in this lane, so it could just end up being a very static farming lane down bot.
Certainly could be. Of course, mid lane, you are looking at Gunnar versus Jolson. Right now, it seems like Gunnar having a pretty damn good time as expected here, Jonathan. Of course, Enchant Totem makes it very hard. Did you finally get what I said, Jonathan? It took you a while, a bit of lag on your end, is there?
I didn't know whether to giggle or not at the point. Very good place, though.
It's a bad joke, you know, I suppose. Pretty cringe. Anyway, top lane as well. K1 and Yamson against 9 and 33. Going very well for 33 right now, which is to be expected on the Doom.
Yeah, I mean, this is a pretty safe lane. You just kind of build up on that Doom. You're not going to get harassed out. Again, there's some aggression that can come out with AAA on Naga, but what we've seen from Hector, he doesn't go for that value point in the end snare. It's just going to be mainly a farming lane, and you're not going to really get too much aggression. You're happy on the Naga to farm. You're also happy on the Doom. I think the big thing for now is just trying to leverage that farm potential of Hector into the jungle. So we'll see if they can maybe get some room to stack up in Yamson. That is one way to really accelerate Hector's timings here.
Denied. He is. I keep looking back at that mid lane. Like it's such a rough time. Every time you step up to the Earthshaker, it's such a painful experience. He's gonna pull the wave away and secure his water rune. So will Topson. Topson obviously much preferring to just farm by his tier 1 tower, but Gunnar gonna make it very hard by holding the creep equilibrium by his own tier 1 tower now, making it kind of impossible for him to farm safely. Meanwhile, bottom lane, a bit of aggression coming out. Skidder try and force Lelis away from snaking and does do so successfully. Look at the creep wave mid lane on Gunnar. Like, there's a full rating creep wave coming in very, very soon, and again, he's made it very hard by stacking a double creep wave here for Topson, so the farm is going to be very challenging again. And Gunnar, he might just do it again as well. Hold it by the tier 1. He won't actually. He'll bring it behind the tier 1 tower rather, or just within attack range, I should say. So it's tough times right now for the Earth Spirit at least.
Yeah, that's just how mid matchups that are melee up against Earthshaker that tends to go. You don't have too much trade potential with the spam ability of Enchant. Roll is also not too bad.
Cold feet 9. He's going to cop it in K1. Able to secure first blood with Naga Siren. That's a pretty damn important pickup and a very nice pickup from K1. Going for the early point and snare up against the Weaver. You see, it pays off very quickly.
I like that change up. Again, last time we saw Hector play this with the exact same lane partner, he didn't bother. He sees that opportunity now. The Weaver's still very squishy early on. You don't have to worry about time lapse or any shenanigans like that. So you have a really easy time just pulling out that kill. That does give an opportunity for 9 to top up the bottle of Topson. So he's going to be able to sustain in mid, but already good start for now. I mean, Hector not farming as well as Skidder is in the lane, but that kill should give him a little bit of a boost.
Yamson, I mean, he's got a fairy fire up, 33, going a little bit far, does have a Lotus, so he's going to be okay. Meanwhile, Yamson actually still taking damage with the blood grenade. He is down. 9 will be able to get some revenge on the Weaver. 33 really playing on the edge, but that's what this man does best.
Just trying to push that limit. He does get some good punishment out. Not the biggest kill on the support AA, so you wouldn't mind too much here on the side of nouns, but still a bit of a boon. You know, you're not really wanting to play too aggressive on the Doom. You get a freebie kill. You've got your Vanguard up now as well, so you can just regen through that harassment earlier on, and you can start to play that farm game in a pretty good position. I think outside the mid lane, every lane has looked a lot better for Tundra so far. That bot lane for Moo, not the most aggressive. He has decided again to go back into the usual build with TNT and the NADPC. Going for 2 points in the cask and 2 in voodoo. So no Maldic, no kill threat. Just going to be focusing on just harassment farming a bit.
Snaking does get caught. Does have Icarus Dive available though, but won't use it while the battery slot's going. In fact, Moo's going to move in. There's your Icarus Dive out. The cask did actually follow Snaking, but he is going to be fine. Speaking of this bottom lane, by the way, Moo doesn't actually end up getting any points in Melodic this time around. The Witch Doctor, he actually... do you agree with that? Do you like the restoration build, or is it just farming build?
I was just mentioning it a while ago. I think it's good for just holding the lane. It does give out that early kill threat without the Maledict, so you're stuck playing a little bit more passive on levels, just trying to shove them away, but not look for the big cogs, not looking to hold them in for a lot more on the cast. That cuts off some of that early tempo you'd want to see from Moo. It does provide you a little bit more presence in team fights, you know?
Still chasing for his power rune. Echo Slam committed, but 9, he does take the Arcane Rune for himself. Ellis in the meantime will cogs up 9, so he does get left behind, but Snake's going to show up now, and Gunner, he's the one going down. He does at least take 9 with him. But it's still not the best of trades here for Nouns, as Topson, I'm sure, will be very happy with the space made. His bottom lane, well, Skinner going down, that's a huge deal for them. They find the Sven while he was alone, and Nouns, they do capitalize immediately.
Radiant's bottom tower
It's a decent enough trade, 2 for 1, but losing Gunner does put a little bit of an expander of the works. You can kind of shove in mid a little bit more. You've got a little bit of room for Topson to farm up.
33, slow it up, body blocked up as well. Cold Feet will freeze, and 33. Well, he can't really do too much about this. Lelis will just slowly chip away in K1, able to find it. Well, there was Squid anyway. Nobody found the kill. This goes 3 ways. Got a very good kill there onto the dude.
Yeah, and that's kind of what you need to keep doing, right? Like, the lane is just evolving into a farm lane. Kind of need to shove the Doom away a little bit, give it a little bit more for Hector to play with. He does have his Manta, his Yasha almost done, at the very least, just lacking the recipe left. And they're making great use of the early aggression that these two supports can provide on Nouns. Like, Clockwork and AA can connect pretty nicely with decent enough front line. They are also starting to get levels.
Mu just backing off at the perfect moment there, bottom lane, as Topson had rotated on the Earth Spirit, but just could not catch the Witch Doctor. Lelis now going to get rolled on, or rather, Kana will. Topson, he'll kick him away. Lelis, though, going to chase him down, and now with the Bishop, Topson gets locked in, but Lelis gets left behind as Gunner. He doesn't want to fight anymore. Topson, maybe he's still in danger, but Gunner, he cannot hit him with all these Fire Spirit slows. And now Topson, he wants more. Gunner getting caught out. The Sun Ray will slowly burn him down as Topson is just refreshing the magnetize, and Gunner eventually should die. He will try to take Snaking, but it will not be enough. Snaking will secure Topson. He will survive through everything.
That's just really aggressive from Nouns. Lelis playing so far forward. And I think Gunner had the right idea. That's not a kill that's really easy to find, especially with the backup they had on the side of Tundra, with Sneaking just hanging around the area. So I'm pretty big loss for Nouns in dropping those 2 kills. Opens up the sidelines as well for a little bit more for Tundra to play with. You are reaching the point where Hector can be left alone, so these support plays can happen across the map. But that does mean that you're also allowing Tricky Tweet to just play this game on the Doom. And with the Midas up, with the full Arcane up, you can start to do more. You are also, again, just starting to clear out on the Sven. And no Mask of Madness yet, but already digging into that jungle. So a little bit of a mirror for both cores on the safe lane here. It is a lot easier for the Naga in clearing out multiple camps, though, so that is one advantage for Nouns. Mu does have his Death Ward ready and waiting. He just needs a connection. I think right now the best here to play with is actually this Witch Doctor, even without Malde.
He's right by Snake. He obviously does not want to go for the Phoenix. Doesn't get the T1 tower, but gets doomed up in 33. He'll drag him right back with the Hurricane, so that should be an easy death. He'll give his life away to secure the T1 bottom tower. Still a very nice pickup for Tundra, though. It seems like 33 already looking to rotate through the Twin Gate up towards the north side of the map.
Middle tower looks to be disintegrated.
I guess you trade your life for a T1. It's not the best trade for Mu, but he takes.
It's 2 big ults as well. That's Doom down, that's Egg down. You know that they're not going to be forcing any big reaction to your movements now on Nouns, so you can afford to try to play this pickoff game. You do have the Blast ready to go from Yamson. Again, the Death Ward's just waiting to go from Mu, so you can start to make some connections without worrying about results.
Nice fast to fly in. It does land, and with the Death Ward, Topson, he's going to try to roll away, but will still go down.
Wait for it.
Great rotation from Mu. And this is why they always go for this AA, a first pick on the side of Nouns. Like, they really abuse this Ice Blast timing on Yamson, and already it starts to pay off.
And again, this is just a little bit of that consequence of popping those ults for the Witch Doctor. If you're not able to respond, you're not able to track him back, get some area control back with a Supernova. You do have enough stuns to chain onto multiple heroes to connect that blast as well, with a decent Cask and a decent Fisher coming out from Gunner. And they get the room to shove in. With the max out Voodoo Restoration, you can just tank through tier 1 tower hits, apply a lot more damage than you want to have at this moment early on. And they're not scared of being shoved out. Again, there's nothing to worry about. There's no Doom, there's no Egg. You know that the Weaver isn't going to be that much of a threat with the chain lockdown. And you just get a freebie off the back of that. Again, a consequence of just that gank down bot.
And then Nouns are doing an absolutely fantastic job here with that mid-tier 1 tower being taken. Now they can open up the map and start rotating for some more kills, and that's exactly what they're doing. Skidder, I mean, at least he takes the ancient stacks away. Meanwhile, 33 top lane, he's kind of being stalked by Gunner.
Tower has fallen.
You do have 9 around, but it's not really too much he can do as a Weaver to help out. 9, in fact, is the one to get caught out here by Gunner. The Ice Blast will go through the Weaver, but that's going to be enough. 9 is down. Very nice cogs pushback from Lelis, or rather block off, and Nouns, they will catch another.
Yeah, great little pushback. Good game sense coming up from Lelis to cut off that path. They did have a ward peering into that area just a little bit, so they had a little bit of a rough idea as where that would happen. Overall, rather even the kill board, and the big advantage right now for Nouns is this split farm that Hector is having a fantastic time with. As a Naga, it just goes a lot faster than the Sven without stacks. And it is something that Naga can excel at. Manta not too far off. You've already got the ultimate orb up and running as well. For Tundra right now, you are just waiting to maybe find an angle back in with Dima. 33 is going for the Midas, so they are looking for that slower game. Lelis, a bit far forward.
It's okay. Not too afraid of 9 on the Weaver. Does have the hook shot as well if he needs to get away. 9 can chip away and keep the info up on Lelis, but they actually just leave him alone. Instead, down towards the south, Moo is going to show up. And Skidder saw him there for a moment. He'll try for a TP out, but it's too late. He does get caught. He will go down. Another great kill here for Tundra. And it's off the back of that ward on the high ground of the Twin Gates. It barely caught him. And that was more than enough for Tundra to move in.
And that's one thing with Tundra right now. Their vision game is very nice for this kind of aggression. They've got good forward wards up top. They can kind of watch that movement, try to hunt down Hector. They get a good scan here on the Dire side to see that movement through the gate. So not going to be able to catch too much. They've got the defensive ward in their cliff area on the forward part of that top jungle anyway. You do have Gunner kind of hanging in the wings. He does have that full blink ready, with the Echo ready to go. Just needs a good initiation, but doesn't look like they're forcing it too hard in Tundra. So it's back to farm. That kill on Moo stalls out his Midas. And that kind of hurts for the Witch Doctor. Again, you're gunning for your BKB Ags timing here, maybe a blink for Moo if he feels the need of following up to Gunner's movement here, which can be really nice in a big Echo Slam setup. So that is one thing that they can kind of look for here on the side of Nouns. But playing a farm game into Doom and a Sven can be a little bit scary. You're also at the point where Topson, he's also going for the Midas. Everyone's looking to scale on Tundra. So this delayed timing for Nouns, going for this mad Voodoo Restoration farm build, can hurt.
Yeah, speaking of Topson, hook shot away from Lelis. He is still chasing down the clock, and with the refresh and the magnetize, the halfway full dive, and now Topson, he's the one in danger as K1 has rotated. They do find the clockwork, but K1 is not allowing Topson to roll away. So K1, oh, he cannot secure. Topson, he's still alive. Still running towards the Twin Gate. We'll try for the TP away, but the fish is in from Gunner. Nice rotation. Topson, though, still on the run, looking to get away. They will get a bit of vision with the Ice Vortex, but it's not going to be enough. Somehow the Earth Spirit will make his exit.
Scanning for enemies.
Yeah, just jolts out of there, Mike.
He
Certainly does.
Which one died?
I'm surprised you didn't latch on to that one. Oh, your dad big slam.
Middle tower is under attack.
Slam committed. Moo going to be able to pick up 9 on the Weaver. So they do get another support Weaver kill. Not the biggest deal in the world, but now they certainly just want to be as aggressive as humanly possible. And but now they're doing a decent job of it. In Tundra, they are still 1K in the lead, but it feels like a very even game between these two teams.
That it is. I think the one thing that kind of was unfortunate for Nouns in the last fight when they were ganking up Topson, Ice Blast didn't clip. He was right outside of that range. Near melee range, Ice Blast, very hard to land. So miss out on that opportunity. They will smoke up. No slam, but Ice Blast is back up along with a hook shot here.
Just locked down 33, and it seems like they should be able to. As 33, he reveals himself on the creep wave. Ice Blast, of course, will land perfectly. Hook shot will not. 33, he's gonna hurricane towards the west. Try to run south, but it's not gonna be enough. Lelis catches him with the battery assault. That'll be another big pickoff coming out for Nouns. And Lelis, looking back at his clockwork, he's almost at his axe now. He's not too far off. He just needs the point booster.
it's going to be massive. That overclock can come in clutch for additional control, trying to get this position, really trying to block off Topson as well, trying to catch out this Earth Spirit when they try to gank him up. You're also working yourself onto Moo with a blink, so he is prioritizing just aggression with his heal forward. He has the value point in Maledict. This is when Nouns starts to really kick into gear with all this initiation coming through. I think Tundra's done a great job of just trying to farm up. Like Skitter's building up nicely. You've got 33 farming up, although as a Doom, he's doing decently enough right behind Hector's farm. But this Naga has so much room. Like that is, again, one thing that Hector has shown time and time again. When you give him one of these illusion heroes, he can play the first 20 minutes just fine. Even if you gank him once or twice, it's not going to matter. He'll always have map space, and Nouns will always ensure that this guy will just have the farm to come in by 25 minutes in.
Positioning by Lilith, he'll break the smoke here and save K1. Lilith, he does get picked off eventually, but K1, he pops a song, giving time for Lilith to walk away. So now Topson, he'll get locked down by the ensnare, but Lilith, no, he's still going to die. The Magnetizer got refreshed, and it's just enough. Right on the edge, before the song connected on the Earth Spirit, he got one extra boulder down, and it proved to barely be enough.
That does remove the save of Nouns with Song being popped, so if they did want to try to pressure Naga, they'd have a cleaner angle. They don't commit too much there on the side of Tundra. Still a little bit of a farming game. The Nouns are the ones kind of trying to position as a team, whereas Tundra's the one working the map much more with the position of 33 and the position of Skitter right now, just focusing on that build-up. Inside of Nouns, they've got that blink up on Moo. I think this is the go time.
Yamsun will be chased. Stormhammer will land. Gunner, he'll help out with the Fisher, and that might actually be enough to save the life of Yamsun. Now they want the fight. They found Skitter. They've got the spam locked down, and Skitter is down. Skitter is gone. Beautiful initiation from Lelis.
Rack it on.
33. Gonna be scouted out here by the clock. Hands up, waves him goodbye. But will not chase him down too much further. Though I say that Gunner, he's on the cliff. That's not where he wanted to be, I don't think. 33. Will be able to get away for now. Jumping back in on K1. Who does he actually doom up? Did he just doom an illusion? I think he may have. Onto the Phoenix, the egg will get bursted down, and now Topson and 9, they've been left behind. Topson's still trying to kill off Yamsun, but he just goes down. 9, the only survivor on the Weaver, trying to run, but Gunner lands the Fisher. K1, he just wants a bit of vision. Won't be able to get it, and ensnare, it was on cooldown anyway. But Nouns, they'll get away with 4 kills for the price of 0.
That's massive. Like Skitter being so far forward, trying to get this seemingly easy kill on Yamsun across the river. A little bit of an overextension coming out from Sven. Again, that was Moo with the blink reveal. Mansion get that good angle in to get the follow-up, and they just get that blast on. And the cleanup afterwards, again, it's just really fragmented coming out from Tundra. The egg, without the protection of the fire spirits, still relatively easy to handle at the level 1 egg. And it just kind of falls apart. They didn't manage to get a full retreat cleanly enough here from Tundra. And the punishment from Nouns is severe. And just all this area control, all these area stuns just shines a lot better than Tundra, which again, they're focusing on most of their control here on Tundra is really reliant on Stormhammer or Topson just landing a couple of good rolls and kickbacks. These statues just trying to joll around, but there's no water for the fish to roll around there, Mike.
Absolutely not. Now a 1k advantage going the way of Nouns. Looking at Dota Plus as well, 79% chance win probability for Nouns. So I don't think either of us were expecting this kind of result thus far in game number 1, but Nouns certainly showing up here today against Tundra. See, so much on the line, just wanting to start off in that upper bracket position at TI if you can, and this best of 3 will do it for you. Yeah, still Tundra nowhere near out of this game yet. Like, they've still got plenty of time in this game to try and make a slow but surely comeback here for themselves. And obviously Tundra, out of all teams, they're one of the teams that are just fantastic at split pushing and delaying games as much as humanly possible. Sure, Tundra, they'll be able to buy themselves the time to get to a position where they can comfortably fight against Nouns. But it doesn't really seem like Nouns mind playing the slow game either, considering they do have that K1 Naga, who has a harder to ask up now. K1, as expected, the farm is going extremely well.
I mean, you just leave this guy alone, man. He works the map. Like, Hector is insane when it comes to his Naga. We've seen this time and time again. From his time in Esports as well. He's just doing the exact same thing here on now. It's paying off in a big way. I think as this game goes on, let's say we approach 35 to 40 minutes in, I don't think it gets harder for nouns, and I don't think it gets necessarily that much easier for Tundra.
See the Earth Spirit, they'd love to have a go at Topson. Mine's going to intervene here. He'll see K1. K1 snares him up immediately. They saw him with the sentry. He's going to try and put him down at 9. He's going to go down to Topson. He'll jump in. They've got the Nana on K1. He could not get the song up in time. K1 is down. Skidder runs right into the death ward, but is going to be okay as Lelis. Moves it on to 33. 33 Hurricane can sort out of there, but in comes Gunner. He gets the stuns off. They're doing a bit of trouble. Stormhammer out there from Skidder going to buy him a little bit of time at 33. He is stuck between the creeps. In Skidder, he's in trouble as well now. The Sven's just got to run, but Lelis is right on his tail. Gets the cogs out. They've got the Sven again. He'll turn and try to man fight through this, but Gunner will be able to pick up a double. They may lose K1, but they'll get 4 heroes for their trouble. It's still a great fight for nouns.
It's an amazing fight for nouns. The block coming out from Gunner to isolate that Doom. The fact that Tundra couldn't get a good Doom target kind of pinned down. They focus fully onto burning down Hector with a heart. He's just way too tanky to burst down fast enough. And the disruptiveness of these team fights from nouns, again, with all their AoE control, with all the mobility they have on hand, it's very difficult for Tundra to try to angle in. Again, banking a lot on this Earth Spirit to be that disruptive factor. We go into the Roshan now as well, and again, it's this fight, it's this area. 30 degrees stuck in the cogs, gets pushed out, but fissure in this angle, blocked right between the trees and the creeps. Like, it's insanity. Perfect fissure coming out from Gunner. And Tundra, that puts them at a relatively bad position. It's 4K at 23 minutes in. It doesn't sound that bad, but you've got to spend. These are 2 heroes that are supposed to completely overtake the map, have excellent net worth, but it's all lagging behind a little bit.
Well, Lila's very, very happy on the cams there. Very happy with the way this game is going, of course. And another kind of point there, John. Topson rolled in and just died to the death ward. Like, it's just the Witch Doctor death ward damage is just so damn high.
I'm telling you, this hero, it was nerfed. I was a bit disappointed. Then I played him like, all right, this is still going to get banned in every game I'm playing. I do not want to play Witch Doctor every game, so I'm going to have to ban it. But then I have to ban Dazzle as well. No, that's the state of the game right now when you're pubbing me. These 2 damn support core heroes, they're all over the place. And now Moo is very close to his Zags, only about 1.6k away. Once he has that, well, the game really gets obnoxious with Witch Doctor with that up.
It certainly does, and I appreciate he goes for the Blink Dagger build up as well, so he can just wait for all the stuns to come out, all the spells he's afraid of, and just jump in after that. The perfect initiation here for the Witch Doctor, and just get that Aghanim's death ward off eventually. It's still a 1k advantage either way. Win probability sitting at around 82% as Topson jumps right in onto the high ground. K1 though was standing there and catches him. Topson, he's just down. K1, he was in the perfect position at the perfect time. And just picks off the easiest kill of his life.
Yeah, they just can't take care of this Naga without the Sven. Like, Skidder has to deal that damage onto that hero, but he's not quite ready. Again, he's lagging by 4k behind in gold. That's 1 full item that the Sven doesn't have. That's 1 full item that the Doom doesn't have in comparison to this Naga. And even then, they're not that far ahead of the other cores here.
Hey, he's all right. Gunner's having a hunt around here for the Weaver, but could not quite find the bug.
I think one thing I'd like to see for nouns is probably a shard in Yamsen. He might be waiting for the Tormentor for it, but that AoE shard, just having additional control off the Ice Blast as follow-ups and Fisher's Massives, they catch up 9 again.
Certainly do. He's just gonna lose life.
That's scary.
It really is. You just get a second of lockdown, and that's going to be more than enough to kill him off. That's without the Ags up. Once the Ags is there, things get very fun for Moon.
That just accelerated the Zags timing.
Nice click away from Gunner. They're going to at least catch Yamson with a boulder smash. And, well, Yamson should be dead. They just brought a nice pass before he does go down, but ultimately will go down as Topson now going to get locked in by the cold bleeding gunner who'll jump right in, but the high ground is there from Topson. Still, they are moving in with even more heroes now. They have locked down Topson. He cannot get away, and neither can Snaking. Another great trade from Nouns. They're able to respond every single time Tundra. They try to get something. Nouns, they always get a bit more value.
They're just in a really good position to take that fight. They have control of this bot jungle area with Hector for a long time. He can sneak his way in. Yamson is the sacrifice. They have to commit a lot of small spells to just find him down. And then the mobility of Nouns. All these blinks, all these high mobility supports. You've got the Ags and Gunner to gap close. You've got the hook shot to play with. You've got the cogs to block off and push people around. It's a lot that the Earth Spirit has to worry about. Until this BKB's finished up on Topson, he's not going to have an easy time trying to look for what should be theoretically simple pickoffs. There are no simple pickoffs until that debuff immunity's up.
K1, you can see the confidence in the Naga, forcing the BKB out from 33 immediately as he just goes on to the tier 3 mid tower by himself, basically. The Gunner will now join the move right behind him. Yeah, you do have the Ags on the Witch Doctor, so if you jump in for an awkward team fight and the Witch Doctor's left alone, everybody is just going to melt. That is a max death ward as well. 140 pure damage bouncing around, not going to be very fun. Tundra, they've got to try and find a way to defend this. So K1, he is not backing off. He's a very tanky boy with 2 lives available. And has the butterfly fully completed and Snaking. He'll try to use a Sun Ray, but he might just die. The illusions move in. K1, he'll force the egg out. K1, has he gone too far? It's a lot of damage being dealt, but he just walks away. Mook can give him the reset if he wants, but it seems like he makes the call to just cut the creep waves down bottom. Maybe come back at a later date. His Aegis is expiring in about 15 seconds.
Yeah, such a sick play, just forcing out Egg. And this is one thing that we were talking about during the draft for Tundra. Picking up the Phoenix, I wanted something that could play into that Egg more. All they have, again, is just this roll, just this Stormhammer. It's not enough.
They captured the Hawk level, when in goes Moon, there's your
Look at that.
More than enough.
Look at that hero. What a hero. Yeah, I mean, it's been ignored for the most part, right? And the road to the international, I don't think it's been picked up at all. The last time I checked, it wasn't picked at all. It has been picked once before this game, but for the most part, the group's just completely ignored post-nerf. And, well, Moon picks it up and shows us why it's strong. It still is. It's maybe a bit slower. You know, he goes for that Voodoo Restoration, he goes for the Midas. Takes a little bit more time, but once you're online, it's oppressive. He's going into the Traveled next. He just wants to be able to be all across the map, find some constant punishment. 10 to 21. 4K lead still standing for Nouns. Skitter will come in at some point. He's got the Silver Edge. He's going for the MKB. The Sven has to be able to find his openings. Right? It's down to getting a good initiation out from Topson. Try to back them up, try to get a good egg position as well, but Nouns are just so disruptive. Like this early Ags pickup from Lelis earlier on, these rocket flares being spammed out makes it so hard to find a position. It makes it really easy for Nouns to find the backline as well. You've got this AA standing a million miles away, so he's always going to try to just land the Ice Blast, land the Vortex, and just play it safe in the backline. It's difficult right now for Tundra. Again, it hinges on either isolating the hero one by one, which Nouns has not split up all too often, or trying to catch the backline first, which with the information Nouns gets with his clockwork and how far back they can stand and how mobile they are, it's not a simple task. They will try with a smoke up now, though.
I'm gonna give it a crack. This is so scary, though. They see Gunner. They're pinging out Yamson. K1's going to show up. They'll smoke up themselves. K1, he'll have his smoke broken. They don't seem to want to start with the Naga, but they'll jump in anyway with the Stormhammer and the God Strike, but they will get the Naga out of there. Instead, Lelis is the one caught. Gunner in the meantime, dropping too low. The Death Lord still bouncing around, but Skitter maybe gone too far, will go down. They get 2, but they've lost their span as Topson going to try to roll away. Meanwhile, 9 going to move in for the snipe, picking up Yamson, and now Moo goes down to Boom. Tundra, they find 4 for their troubles. K1, he is the only one left. K1, though, at least going to find Snaking, so that's 1 other down on the Phoenix. In comes 9. Song committed by K1, but he will just TP away. Great fight for Tundra.
That's what we need to see coming out from them. They find the back line. They start to take out these squishy supports. That smoke play from nouns, hanging around that area, trying to counteract with their own smoke, does not pay off. You've got a Weaver that can just break those smokes easily, gives them the information to jump in, and they get the initiative there on Tundra. So Nouns loses that vision advantage, loses that range advantage. They can still get run down. And really good punishment coming out from Tundra, equalizes the game a little bit more. They aren't able to capitalize on objectives as much as they want, which is rather unfortunate. And they're not able to really push in for a tier 1 tower on mid or bot. They're not able to try to apply pressure in the top U2. But they stall for time. And they're reminding Nouns as to what can happen when things don't line up. The 33 gunning for the refresh, has the Octarine on the Doom, so much more uptime on his spells. Multiple Dooms would be massive. Just taking away the healing from Mu already makes him a lot squishier. Even though he basically has Voodoo Restoration up 100% of the time, it's just not going to be doing enough. They'll try for their own smoke now in Narwin still.
They're going to find into Snaking. Topson's right behind him. They'd love the Earth Spirit. In fact, the Ice Blast not going to go further. So Snaking getting caught, but Lilith, oh, nice body block. He blocks the roll again. Topson rushing the roll in with the Magnetize. Keep it going. See if he can set something up for his team. As Snaking's going to buy back into this one. Magnetize still ticking away. But Topson seems like he is going to back out as now K1 moves in. The K1, he's surrounded. He gets stood up. He needs some help. His team right behind him. But he's okay. He's walking away for now. Tundra, they do commit everything, but it doesn't seem like they're able to actually lock anyone down. The Doom committed, but they are forced to just watch K1 walk away. Skidder, TP cancelled down, the Death Ward out. Skidder is down.
Oh, Gunner.
Tips out for the Earthshaker.
He blocked off Skidder in that fight, ensuring that the DPS of Tundra wasn't there. So even if they did chase, without that Sven, the damage was just not enough. And just again, perfect positioning from Gunner, perfect way of cutting off, leading that fight for a win on Nouns end. And they suddenly regain that 5k lead. They've got Roach control as well if they want to contest that. It is down bot. They do scout out with Yamsen. So that is something they can start to line up for, get that Aegis up for themselves, get the cheese going, and start to reconsider the high ground play once more. They are still hunting a little bit up top. TP is in the safer side of the jungle right now, although the players do eventually spot out a bit, but just a little bit too far. Roshan, the safer plate. They're starting to group around that area. And again, there's no contest for Tundra. Unless they get a really good angle out here, they don't have forward vision by Roche. They're playing elsewhere on the map. It's going to be a nice free one for Nouns so far.
So it will be Roshan. He's to go the way of Nouns. In the meantime, you do have now a refresh orb available on 33, so he's fully completed that up. Well, Doom could be a huge impact here in these next team fights. The game changer that side of Tundra have been looking for. Well, Nouns with the Aegis up now, looking very, very potent. Slowly starting to move in through the mid lane already is K1. Skidder's still trying to work on towards that MKB. A bit more time for that one. Hopefully he does have it up before the next high ground defense comes. Now with the butterfly up on the Naga, he's having a lot of trouble just bursting down K1 with that God String. Oh, Gunnar, he's going to find a nice invis rune for himself. Just bottle it up, we'll hold it for another day. It seems like Tundra, they're going to do a pretty good job of avoiding the side of Nouns, but here's a smoke out. Nouns looking to run after Skidder, but he will just TP back towards the place.
Gunner breaks the smoke clearing out of the camp under vision, and I think they smoked under vision anyway on mid. Yeah. They do manage to dodge out for now. The side of Tundra, the double Doom, again, it's going to make a big difference. They're going to be able to try to pin down 2 targets. No Yanking's finished up yet on Nouns, although you are queuing up one on me, and I believe one on Yamsen as well. But that one in the A is going to take a little bit longer. So the solutions aren't completely there just yet from the side of Nouns. We'll see if they find out opening. It's a lot of pressure on 3v3. It's a lot of pressure on Topson as well. But he does have the heart now on the Earth Spirit at the very least. So that does make it a little bit easier in trying to survive up front when you're rolling in, or when you're joling in.
Certainly so. And K1, he's still just camping mid lane. He just doesn't care. Straight on the front lines. Here comes the cavalry though. Tundra, they might be able to punish him now as Skidder is right behind him. K1, gotta be careful as he gets doomed up here by 33. He does now get doomed, but he does still jump away with the overkill. But before that happens, and it seems like he may actually just be fine. I mean, he had the Aegis anyway, but doesn't even need to expend it. That's one doom down. He'll refresh. He'll have the next available. Keep in mind, he does have the Octarine Core plus the Time Warp Aura on the Doom, so the cooldowns are very low for the Doom at the moment. But still, K1 knowing at least one Doom down, he does move up to the high ground, but does get stunned up by Skidder. In goes Topson. K1 though still really playing with fire as he just dances around them. In goes the BKB of Skidder and the Death Ward of Moo. That should be enough for both sides to retreat, but does Nouns want the melee barracks before they do go back home? They know the BKB on the spin is not up. Nor is the block strength for another 18 seconds. They want to move it on to it. Just goes right on to 33. 33 forced to fuck this BKB now. Just jumps away again with the Ogre Totem. And K1, the guy's just got no fear. Topson. Up the block north, K1 moving in, taking down half his HP, forcing the BKB out on the Earth Spirit. Another BKB forced out by K1. T3 bottom tower going down quite fast here to Nouns. Comes Cutter to make sure it doesn't get finished off. In fact, a nice fish shot. Lands onto snaking, but they won't follow up with it. They'll just go after the range rats. Secure the objectives. Don't go too far. They've still got a minute 15 seconds on that Aegis timer here for K1 as 4-star forward is there from 9. K1 happy to turn around on the blind sheet with the Weaver. In fact, the mana is running very, very low now. The kickback, I believe I saw.
Radiant's bottom barracks has fallen.
A bit awkward here as they are going to lose 9.
Radiant's bottom barracks.
It's a tough defense. They've got the egg, they've got the full MPB on Skidder, so they can do damage onto K1. They've only got the one doom. Power refresh comes off cooldown, so double doom is ready. Looks like they will just accept Rax falling down. Heat wave comes in, mid Rax as well under threat. And Hector doesn't care. Just forward. He knows nothing. He knows it takes way too much to kill him off here.
Now, this is why K1 is farmed the whole game, because he knows he's getting to this stage where you just can't contest him. And without Topson, he's trying to do so. BKB is used up. The roll gets blocked off again. He has to whip the old flash away. Meanwhile, Skidder trying to move on to K1. K1 still with the Aegis up, but he needs 15 seconds before it does expire. He'll focus on them. He'll try to allow his team to retreat for now as Nouns. They don't want to fight without that secondary line, but the chase is on. 33, look to another doom out potentially. Will commit it onto K1. He's down the Naga. We're ready for backup. Here they come. They've got the number of the night Hydra now. Nellis. Here comes Gunner. He's got the Echo. It's Skidder. Oh my God. All gone. They are all gone. Moon takes it all. Virginia's call.
They call it.
Oh my goodness. What a way to finish off the game by Nouns. Holy!
Oh, that was finishing in style. They forced that fight out. Hector drags him all the way out.
My goodness!
And trying to chase down that Naga. The song.